The majority of this recording, the largest portion of it in time, consists of two song cycles that were written for the great baritone Thomas Hampson. The first one was written in 2001, 2002, and was premiered by the Philadelphia Orchestra in 2004 with Mr. Hampson singing, and it's called Songs of Solitude, to a cycle of poems by W.B. Yeats, the most famous of which is a poem titled The Second Coming, which is a kind of apocalyptic poem about war and about sort of seeing the end of the world as we know it. And I wrote these songs right after 9/11. There was a kind of 9/11-ish feel to these poems. And The Second Coming was quoted on NPR all the time right after 9/11. And I thought this was the time for me to set these poems, which I had been holding on to for years. I do that in general with poems. I don't see something and say, oh, I'm going to set that to music. I'll wait with it. It's like I deposit it, like a certificate of deposit, and I wait till it matures, and then I pull it out and say, okay, now it's time. The same is true for the other song cycle that I wrote for Thomas Hampson, which is called War Songs, and which is essentially a cycle of poems set to music that were by Walt Whitman when he was a nurse during the American Civil War. And I thought it would be so great to have this piece premiered by the Nashville Symphony weeks before the 150th anniversary of the end of the Civil War. And I thought it would be good to have the premiere in a city like Nashville, because this is an area where there are still ripples from that time. But in both cases, I wanted to write about war in such a way, not to glorify it, but to allow us to think twice before we wage it once again. For these recordings, Tom sang 3 nights in a row, roughly 54 minutes between the two cycles, which is in and itself an amazing, just an incredible achievement. And I'm thrilled that the Nashville Symphony, which I see as the closest thing we have to a national repertory orchestra for living American composers today. I'm so glad and grateful that they're able to put this out, and this will be my second recording on Naxos with this great orchestra and its wonderful music director, Giancarlo Guerrero. I think we have a tremendous recording, and I'm just so grateful we were able to make it happen.